Hi crafting friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, a special welcome. Today's video is full of fun. I'm going to show you a variety of ways to decorate Dollar Tree vases. The colors of late summer and early fall are so vibrant, and vases are a wonderful way to display that colorful beauty. My name is Lisa, and before we dive in and start crafting together, I want to share with you some images of vases I've made over the last several seasons. They are all adorned in different ways. You can see celebrating the spring, I made vases with little wooden cutout bunnies. Here I had an Easter table set with those displayed with some fresh hydrangeas. Also for spring, I had the little chicks. Christmas provides wonderful opportunities to display the nativity. And here I stacked two vases, one inside the other. And I inserted a battery-powered candle so that it would glow from within. Again, the autumn colors provide vivid color palettes for decorating the glass vases. This one was done with rubber bands and gold spray paint. It makes for a lovely candle holder as well as a faux flower holder. I hope to inspire you with these images of the myriad ways in which you can decorate the $1.25 Dollar Tree glass vases. Using fabric here, I decorated this one with Mod Podge and a peacock pattern. This fabric worked beautifully to elevate the look of this simple vase, and fresh tulips was a beautiful enhancement. Here, Dollar Tree stickers adorn this blue vase. Burlap with shells makes for a beautiful summertime theme. And here you can see I inserted it into a bowl filled with shells and little flat marbles. Here also I have it displayed with a candle inside. Here, I used the paint and pour method to adorn this vase. Decorating this small vase provided a perfect opportunity to hold some handmade magnets. To decorate this pair of vases, I used a placemat that I cut and merely hot glued down the seam, and fairy lights twinkle magically in the evening light. Here on my previous video, I filled a pedestal with pumpkins and used a decorative battery-powered candle decorated with a ribbon and an embellishment. Decorating a battery-powered candle like this one can easily be inserted into one of the Dollar Tree glass vases. And then, of course, there's the fresh flowers in the vase decorated with the bling wrap. This is an easy way to elevate the look of a $1.25 plain glass vase. And as I had shown previously, my niece was delighted when she opened some handmade gifts for her birthday and found that I had made this one for her with the Western embellishment, as she's from Texas. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. I was blind, but now I see. This is one of my favorite hymns, and I thought it would be fun to decorate one of the vases using this hymn printed on rice paper. First, I washed out the vase as I do with each, and now I'm just drying it out with a microfiber cloth so it's nice and shiny. You'll want to use some Mod Podge, which you can also buy in small bottles at Dollar Tree. Because this design is taller than the vase, I'm just going to measure so that I get the portion that I want displayed on the front. I obviously want the wording Amazing Grace at the top, so I'm just going to go ahead and measure, draw a line, and cut off the excess so that we can position it properly. After I trimmed it to fit, I also cut off that top white border, and then I was ready to attach it using the Mod Podge. A sponge brush from a package at Dollar Tree works well to apply the Mod Podge. You'll want to create a nice even layer over the back surface of the rice paper. The next step is to simply adhere it to the front of the vase. You can see how easily it lays across the front of the glass. And once I got it in position, I simply smoothed it with my hands. Now it's important to let it dry before applying another top coat of Mod Podge, because at this stage it is a little bit delicate. Because the paper wasn't wide enough to go all the way around the vase, I'm just going to cut pieces from this leftover bottom scrap, and I'm just going to cut pieces of the music and piece it in, and it blended in nicely. Once it had dried, I used that same sponge brush and applied a top coat of Mod Podge over the entire surface. That gives it a nice seal. And then the next step, let it dry again, and then I'm going to show you how I embellish it. As you can see, I applied that Mod Podge in both directions, horizontally and then vertical stripes. Now, it's important at this stage to still be very delicate because that paper does get moistened and then it can easily tear. I had a couple areas where it got a little bit thin, and that was actually the opportunity that gave me the idea to add some embellishments. Now, here it is drying, and once it dries, it'll be very clear. I'm going to go ahead and add some of this beaded trim. It's a little bit wide, so I'm going to cut it 3 beads wide, and then I'm going to add a band right around that upper rim. I purchased this at the Dollar Tree. Once I got that beaded trim cut, I just adhered it against that moist upper rim of the Mod Podge, and that held it in place. I also added some hot glue to the ends just to secure it. As you can see, I also added a wider band to the base, and I also added a pretty little jewel from Totally Dazzled right against the base of that rose. I also had a crown with a cross, and I thought, what a perfect symbol to attach right underneath where it says Amazing Grace. So here I'm just adding a drop of hot glue and adhering that cross over the crown right there. And I think that's just the beautiful symbol of what this whole song is about. And now I'm just using my heat gun to go ahead and thoroughly dry it. And then everything will be dry and in place, and we can clean up any little details. This turned out so beautifully. Now I want to add a pedestal base. You can see where I pieced in that music, and it's a nice blend. So now we'll add a pedestal base, and to do that, I'm going to use one of the Dollar Tree candlesticks, and that'll form a nice base. And then I'm going to show you a couple different ways we can use this. I'm using a liberal amount of hot glue around the rim of that candlestick to adhere it to the bottom of the vase, but I would seriously recommend a stronger bond, and something like E6000 in addition would be a good choice. I do it this way just to get a quick result for the video to demonstrate for you, but I have had items separate when I've just used hot glue without a stronger adhesive. So here it is. You can see it's beautiful, and you could always paint that pedestal base if you so desire. I've sometimes painted those using spray paint. To decorate this one, however, I'm going to use another one of the Totally Dazzled jewels. These double hearts intertwined, again, a beautiful symbol, and I'm going to just hot glue those right to the base. You could certainly use a piece of costume jewelry or a mismatched earring or any of the pretty embellishments that Dollar Tree sells, but I happen to have a nice assortment of these jewels that I had bought from Totally Dazzled, and they often do seem to be the exclamation point on my projects. So here is the base, and now from top to bottom, it's beautifully decorated. This could now be used, as you see, to hold either fresh, or in this case, I had these faux tulips I had bought in the spring from Amazon. Fresh roses would also be gorgeous, carrying through the theme of the rose that's in that pattern. Adding a battery-powered candle also works beautifully because the rice paper is translucent, and in the evening light, that glow is quite beautiful. You could add, for example, any other designs that you like on rice paper or parchment paper. I've added family photographs to parchment paper, and those glow beautifully as well. And here it is beautifully glowing on our entry hall table in the evening light. And if you're wondering about that wood creation that you see beside it with the little hummingbird peeking out of its nest, that's something that I recently created, and you can find that on my video. I made that using some found wood. Next, we're going to use a vase from Dollar Tree as well, and some of the Dollar Tree window clings. This project is probably the easiest of all. All you have to do is choose some pretty window clings from the Dollar Tree selection and adhere them onto one of the glass vases. Because they have that clear border around them, they blend beautifully and seamlessly into that glass. I'm adding some of the decorative pumpkins in the different colors, and I'll add some of the leaves and vines. And then by adding a pedestal base, we can elevate it and fill it again with one of the battery-powered candles. I would recommend a liberal amount of hot glue around that pedestal base, and then the addition of some E6000 for that more permanent and stronger bond. Here I'm just attaching it, as you see, and what a difference that makes. It really does elevate the vase and makes it have more presence. Adding some fresh flowers or the battery-powered candle works equally well and creates a lovely decorative item, really an exclamation point for your table. You could make a pair of these that could flank a fall centerpiece. You could certainly also fill it with little mini pumpkins or acorns or mini pine cones. Any kind of fall filler would also look pretty. These are just some of my own ideas. I would love to hear some of yours in the comments below. And if you haven't already, I invite you to consider subscribing to my channel. It's fun, free, and festive, and I have a lot more planned for the upcoming months. In the meantime, take care and God bless.